All right, I'd like to call to order this regular city council meeting for Monday, April 27th, 2026 at 6 p.m. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Holly, will you call the roll, please?
Ludwig.
Here.
Haynes.
Here.
Jenkins.
Here.
Van Osberg.
Here.
Rhines. Gilroy.
Here.
Hanson.
Yes.
I would be looking for a motion to excuse Councilman Rhines from this evening's meeting.
I will move to excuse Councilman Rhines.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. And I support. Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I'm looking for approval of this evening's agenda unless there are any changes that need to be noted.
Move to approve the agenda.
Thank you. Do I have support?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have opportunity for audience participation with a maximum of 5 minutes per presentation. If there's anybody that would like to come forward and speak at this time. If you could state your name and your address, please.
Hi, Andrew Keller, 2386 Raleigh Road. Chief, did you get my email? That's my only question.
Typically during audience participation, we don't go into discussion, so that would be something that we would probably speak with you at a later time about, but thank you so much, I appreciate that. All right, if there's nobody else for audience participation, I will move on the agenda. Council meeting minutes of April 13th, 2026. I'm looking for approval unless there are changes to be noted.
Move that we accept the minutes as presented.
Thank you, do I have support?
Second.
Thank you, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we have an opportunity for accounts payable, and Terry, you're gonna tell us where the money went this evening.
What happened to all that money? Actually, there's more than the usual number of invoices here because it's 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks.
Correct?
I brought my pickup truck so I could carry it all at one time. The only thing I find interesting in here is that the price of gas is really good for the city.
Good.
You guys should be happy about that. We get them through Randy's service station, which is like 10, 12 miles out of town like that. But they bring it to us and they put it in a tank. They sell it to us in bulk and they give us a discount.
That's
So,
fabulous.
for what it's worth, I think that's kind of in the, down the lines of the city being good stewards of our tax money, which I think is a positive thing. Other than that, I have no questions about the budget.
Can I ask one question?
Sure.
And this either for you or for our city manager. Superior saw for $64,797. Yes.
That's the Ventrat.
Oh!
The snow machine. that we-
Okay, all right, just wanted to make sure.
Is that articulated in the middle there?
Not in the middle, but
Okay.
I can talk to you about it offline.
All right,
Love
excellent.
to show, you can't drive it, but we can demonstrate it for you sometime.
So we're hoping for one more snowfall, so we can use it
No.
once. No?
No, we're not.
You never know what could happen.
But that's
in Michigan.
the Superior size that you
Okay,
should.
is distributor. All right, thank you so much for that answer, I appreciate it. All right, so I'm looking for that motion.
Oh, there's, one of the reasons that this number is kind of lower is because there are no ad valorem transfers to other government units. None, zero.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve checks 78982 to 79012, EFT 2232 and ACH 2205 through 2241 for a grand total of $158,983.61.
Thank you so much, Terry, I appreciate it. Are there any questions regarding accounts payable this evening from council members? If not, I'm looking for support for that motion.
Second.
Thank you so much. Holly, will you call the roll, please?
Van Osberg.
Yes.
Gilroy.
Yes.
Ludwig.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Haynes.
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Moving along to our action items, we do have 4, so we will start out with the resolution for the Eagles and the Boy Scout raffle. We do have information in our packet. I will turn this over to our city manager, John Hanneman, and we also have Laura Peak here in the audience if anybody has any questions for her.
Yeah, thank you. So whenever a nonprofit seeks to hold a raffle or some sort of charitable game, they're required to have a resolution adopted by the local governing body stating that they're a recognized nonprofit in the community. So that's what's in front of you tonight. There is some detail on the actual event. It's a first night bingo at the Eagles.
It's Mom's Night Out Purse Bingo.
Mom's
So
Night Out
tell-
Purse
Tell your
Bingo, sorry.
wives, your sisters, Laura, there's still tickets, correct?
There sure is, so we'd love to have anybody who wants to participate. We're gonna have, well, assuming we get all our paperwork in line, we will have raffles for the evening with a Tory Burch purse, a 50/50 raffle, and some raffle baskets that were donated by a local community, as well as purse bingo. So each round of bingo has a designer purse attached to it, many of them donated by locals. And so it'll be a fun night, few extra tickets left still, so.
And really quickly, can you tell us what the Boy Scouts are raising money for?
Yes, so this is a joint venture between the Boy Scout troop and the PAC. The organization we're asking you to approve is the Williamston Scouting Foundation, which is our charter organization. And our charter organization just oversees both the PAC and the troop. And so we'll be using funds for all of their various trips that the troop takes. We're a very high adventure troop, so they'll use that for high adventure trips, community activities. We have a couple of scout projects going on around the community. And then the Cub Scouts go and do a whole variety of camping trips and activities in town, or Pinewood Derby. We use money for things like that.
Excellent, great, all right.
So as the resolution is very simple, but it's the request from the Community Foundation of Scouting in Williamston, and it's to simply recognize that they're a nonprofit organization operating in the community for the purpose of obtaining charitable gaming license. This isn't approval of the event itself or the license, because that's up to the state.
Right. All right, yep, the state just needs our resolution for that. With that being said, thank you so much, Laura, for all that information. Thank you, John. I'm looking for that motion to move. Yes, Terry?
The scouts are the ones that are organizing it and profiting from it. It's just the Eagles, or are you just using their spot?
The Eagles were kind enough to sponsor the event by allowing us to be in the space. It is an 18+ event because they have a bar in the space, so we'll have wristband IDs for the bar space. And they will be running and managing the bar and taking the proceeds from that, but the rest of the proceeds come to the PAC and the troop.
Okay, cool.
I hate to say it, but do we want to lock it? Can we lock it?
Yeah.
We can't because it's open meeting.
Oh,
All right,
no,
well,
you can't,
Christina, sorry. Laura, Christina, thank you so much for holding the door right now. I appreciate it. Thanks, Weather. All right. Thank you for that question, Terry. That's great to know that the Eagles are donating their space for this event.
They are.
So with that being said, would somebody like to make the motion to move the resolution for the Eagles Boy Scout raffle forward?
I'd like to make a motion to move the Eagles and Boy Scout raffle forward.
Do we need it to say what it states in there? See right here in
Make
this.
a motion to approve the local
Yes.
governing body resolution for a charitable gaming license for the Boy Scouts / Eagles
Community Foundation for
Community
Scouting.
Foundation.
Thank you. All right, thank you all. Holly, will you call the roll, please?
Gilroy,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Haynes,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Van Osberg.
Yes.
And again, Laura, thanks so much. And again, there are tickets still available, so make sure if you need a ticket, get a hold of Laura. Our second action item is security cameras purchase. I'll turn this over to our city manager, John Hannafin.
Thank you. It seems kind of ironic talking about cameras. We can't even keep the door shut, but we're going to talk about cameras. So we don't currently have surveillance capabilities or security capabilities at any of our facilities. That includes the police station. But one thing we do have is kind of a Ring doorbell here over the mail-in or the drop-off ballot box. So we've been talking about this for at least a couple years since I've been here. We did receive 3 quotes for our facilities. That's the police station, city hall, water plant, wastewater plant, and the Department of Public Works. The preferred bidder is K&J Electric for their price of $25,300. The EPS was the lowest bid, but they have a per monthly cost of $250 a month, which makes that actually the moving forward, that would be the highest bid.
Mm-hmm.
K&J Electric doesn't have any fees after the initial install, same with SCW. This is the same camera system that the Williamston Community Schools have, so there's some familiarity with the police department. So Chief Weiss can answer any other questions you may have, but we're recommending that we contract with K&J Electric for their quoted price of $25,300, and the cost to be shared equally among police, administration, water, wastewater, and DPW budgets.
Chief, I have a question. With these cameras, is this gonna go to the cloud, and is footage saved for a certain period of time so that we can go back and review it?
The footage is saved on your local NVR,
Okay,
and it's saved for 30 days,
okay,
which is our normal recommended,
okay,
what they save it for, and then the footage can be, it's saved for 30 days, and then
Okay.
it, in essence, rolls over on itself.
great. And then, probably you as staff, and I would assume our city manager or somebody else, you'll have access to view that in real time?
Correct.
All right,
Yeah,
excellent.
you can, just with the school cameras,
Mhm.
right now, the police department, we have access to the school cameras, we can watch live feeds
Okay.
for security measures.
Okay, and just one last question, will there be any real-time alerts that if something were to happen, like, let's say after hours at DPW or something?
I do not believe this system has the motion sensor that will go off.
Okay,
It's just evidence gathering at that time.
all right, great. That answered my questions, John, go ahead.
I'm sure it's here, but where will the cameras be looking at?
It's, they came out, the representatives came out and actually placed the cameras at each building. We walked them around. So each building, they're different locations. In order to get,
Police department, 3 in the city hall, 2 on DPW, 2 on water, and 2 on sewer.
Yeah, but
correct,
exterior, interior?
exterior,
Exterior.
exterior only.
So I'm assuming doors,
Yep.
overhead doors, entrance doors, all that. good stuff.
Access and ingress points.
All right, great, thank you. Anything else from
Yeah,
council? Yes, Scott?
Reading the write-ups, the SD&W presentation was quite a bit more thorough for me reading through what's in here. It leaves me wondering if the technology, are they equivalent technologies between the two places?
I've not reviewed SCW other than their quote, but I can tell you that reviewing the school's cameras, it's great technology. The live feed is instantaneous. I believe they're similar technologies,
Okay.
but I'm at it. I don't know the technical,
So is it on all the time?
they are.
So who's gonna look, I mean, if there's no trigger that says somebody's
Yeah.
there, which seems goofy to me, it seems like you'd want that, but if you don't have it, then what's the process to find out if anything happened?
Right. It'd be reporting, like, say something's missing from the police department, someone's destroyed one of our patrol cars. We could post fact, go back and look at the cameras. Or we could,
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
it's an incident, something has happened.
Correct,
and
correct.
You need to look at that, okay.
correct. And the live feed cameras, for instance, I would always have them on a live feed in my office, turned on my computer. Whoever you get access to could actually watch it live feed.
Yep.
So you'd have a monitor there to pull up the cameras.
So you don't have a reason to look at the whole thing?
No,
Okay.
correct.
I think that's great.
So we talking 1 frame every 4 seconds, or is it real time?
It's, the ones at the schools, our system will be similar, it's live. You can look at sporting events, soccer fields, and it's almost instantaneous.
Oh,
It's great.
Excellent.
So this idea that the government is surveilling us all the time and capturing us on video all the time, it's not true here in Williamston.
It's not,
No,
currently.
Okay.
There's still the federal government.
well, there's that, who knows what that's
And we're gonna
at.
vote in favor of this, aren't we?
Well, I think it's,
I'm just-
I think it's good because we have to protect our property, right? Our tax dollars pay for it, our residents pay for it. I do think it's a good idea for our DPW, our wastewater treatment, all of that. You never know when something could happen. I think it probably will give our staff peace of mind. But also if something does happen, then our police department does have the ability to, process that.
The wastewater treatment plant is $12 million worth of equipment.
Yeah.
With a fence around it, but nothing, not elaborate security from what I understand, so
Right.
this is a good idea.
If there's no other comments, questions, I'm looking for a motion to move this forward.
Make a motion to contract with K&J Electric for their quoted price of $25,300 for the cost to be shared among police, administration, water, wastewater, and DPW budgets.
Thank you so much for that support.
Support.
All right. If there's no other questions, comments, Holly, will you call the roll, please?
Gilroy,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Haynes,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Van Osberg,
Yes.
And I'm assuming this is budgeted for this upcoming year?
Correct.
Okay, current year, okay, great. Next on our action items is the police department lockers, and I'm just scrolling through. Chief, is this a memo from you? Or is this gonna be from John?
I can answer any questions. I believe the actual motion was drafted by
All right,
city
John,
manager.
I'll turn it over to you.
Sure, I mean, we talked about lockers, as a needed purchase for the police department in the current fiscal year. The lockers that are there have been in service since the early 1990s, and they're actually modified storage cabinets, so the chief did gather 3 quotes from Lion, A-Plus Warehouse, and SchoolLockers.com. We are recommending to go with Lion, and they are the most expensive, but again, we're making a purchase that we would hope would last for another 40 years. And these lockers are currently used by the Eaton County Sheriffs. They have some different amenities, plus they come in a police department blue. So, and Chief can fill you in with any other details, but typically we try best we can to go with the lowest bidder, but I think it's in our best interest to purchase from Lion, because these are the exact lockers that we want, and they appear to be the most hardy.
All right, so Chief, I'll throw a question out here.
Okay.
Out here first. Is this going to be for officer storage, or will this also be for evidence storage? Can you define that for us?
Yeah, certainly. These are for the officers' equipment lockers, their uniforms, their whatever they keep in their lockers.
Okay,
Is not for the evidence system. Those are a whole separate locker system.
okay, all right, and we have that covered already?
We do.
All right, great. And so this will be a personal locker for the officers. They will only have access to it, or is there a backup in case there's an emergency and you and Bonnie need to access it? How does that work?
Yeah, correct. With any, per policy, any locker, we have access to it as administration.
Okay,
But these are meant to be their personal lockers. They have the access to them.
all right, excellent. Those are the 2 questions I had. Yes, Terry?
6 officers, you, Bonnie, 8 lockers total,
Correct.
or any expansion?
I think the quote was actually for 9 lockers. And this took into account the female locker room for the future,
Yeah.
and for future expansion if,
When we start doing police work for Williamston Township?
when that comes about.
Okay.
That's correct.
Great. Yes?
John, you mentioned that Ingham County has this. Did the responders, did they indicate where else their product may be installed around here as far
I
as
would
police
defer to
agencies?
the chief on that one.
Yeah, I can't answer that. I don't know where else around here. I just know that the sheriff's office, when they built the new justice complex, these are lockers they use. Actually, theirs have a little bit, they actually have a electrical port in there to charge personal devices. I didn't feel as if we needed that. But I know the sheriff's office uses them. There are currently 3 of our officers worked at that new complex. They were very much liked them. But I don't know if anyone else uses them in our area.
Yeah, the reason I asked the question is just the difference in the, it's not a lot from a raw money standpoint, but percentage-wise, if you do that calculation, it's more. And I assume I know the answer because of what you guys have done in the past to making sure that our monies are protected. But other than Ingham County being blue, is there anything else that you think is significant to go with the additional money for either one of you or John?
Sure. I just know this is a tried and true locker that 3 of our staff have used, that they liked them. When I looked through the pictures of them, and actually have been to the locker room at the sheriff's office, they're very sturdy, they're commercial grade. The color, yes, you pay more for the color, but for retention and morale for the department, I think that's important.
Did you used to work for the sheriff's department?
I did.
So 4 out of 7.
That's correct.
worked with the sheriff, and they like these guys.
Unfortunately, I didn't work in the new Justice Complex, but three of us did.
Okay, cool, good.
Okay, any other questions for Chief or John? If not, I'm looking for that motion.
I'll make a motion to purchase the lockers from Lion for the price of $18,369.
All right, thank you so much, do I have support? Thank you. Holly, will you call the roll, please?
Ludwig,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Haynes, Jenkins,
Yes.
Yes.
Van Osberg,
All right.
Gilroy,
Yes. Okay, thank you. Our last action item before us is the second reading of the garage and rummage sale ordinance. I do not believe we have any changes since our first reading. Does anyone have any questions for John? Yes, Scott?
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment, because on my way around walking my block, I ran into Mr. Garage Sale guy.
Oh,
And I thought, well, so I told him about the ordinance, he
Uh-huh.
didn't know there was gonna be an ordinance. I told him what the ordinance was, how it worked, and his main comment was that he wants to do more than 4 a year. And I told him, well, that's how it's set right now is 4, but he indicated to me he wanted to do like 5 or 6 a year. So I'm passing a lot of that along to you guys, so you know that, I had that conversation.
all right. All right. You know, I feel that we do a good job of publishing, our information prior to, and this is going on, how many months have we talked about this now? Started it back in February, March?
How's last year?
Yeah, so, but, I mean, so what I would say for our community, you know, we always have the ability to amend ordinances, and we certainly will take a case-by-case situation. So certainly they could come in and talk to city staff, but,
Yeah, one more comment I
Yes.
need, I should pass
Yes.
on. He did indicate to me that he feels that what he's doing is significant, because he gets calls from people quite frequently asking when his next sale is gonna be.
okay,
So his perception of what he's doing is that it's important and well liked in the community. Maybe not by the neighbors, but by people that are coming in. So, anyway.
all right. If there's no other comments or questions, are we moving this forward with, action item then?
I think you would
Yes.
need the approval of the second reading
Okay.
and then set for publication.
All right, I'm looking for that motion to approve the second reading and publication.
I move that we approve the second reading of the garage and rummage sale ordinance and move
Second.
forward.
All right, thank you both. Holly, will you call the roll, please?
Hanson,
Yes.
Haynes,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Van Osberg,
Yes.
Gilroy,
Yes.
Ludwig,
Yes.
All right. We have 2 discussion items before us. The first is the 2025 Planning Commission Annual Report. I'll turn that over to City Manager John Hannafin.
Thank you. McKenna did a really nice job of putting together, summarizing 2025, and we discussed it at our last planning commission meeting. And so they did a good job of memorializing the things that happened in the past year. Excuse me, but also I think what's important is looking ahead for 26, 27 with a proposed work plan. And then I'll just read some of those highlights. Coming up with a zone for mixed-use districts, zoning for residential growth, aligning the zoning map for quality future development, design, zone for desired industrial uses. We had a work session with Tiff on that not too long ago. Further enhanced Williamston Road overlay. We talked about that quite a bit, but there's still some work to do there. Protecting the downtown character and then regulate the quality of commercial development. So lot to work forward to in the coming fiscal year. And I think McKenna's done a really good job with the master plan update. And we'll stay tuned as far as moving towards the zoning ordinance amendment.
Sure. Tim, since you're a Planning Commission representative, anything that you'd like to add regarding this?
No, I always think a great shout out to McKenna, because they're so thorough.
Right.
And I so appreciate that,
Yeah.
of what a great job they did.
Great. Here's what I can tell you, I really like this first page that's got our development reviews of what has happened here in 2025. I'd love to publish that so that, you know, our community can see that we are growing, we're being progressive, we are moving forward on that path, so that would be something great to share. Yes,
On
Terry?
this list here, I'm trying to figure out which ones these things are. I placed all of them except this 2810 North Williamston Road, and it's a preliminary automobile service pull-through. It's part of that drive-through thing that has to be what? Has to be
Is that,
south of Holland or south of,
or is that tailgaters?
It's tailgaters.
That's
it's
tailgaters.
just another name. One of them says tailgaters, the other ones have the 2810.
They're both the same
Oh.
address, they just didn't include tailgaters up in the row above it. I think that's probably a typo.
Okay, got it. I was just curious.
Alright,
Yeah, you guys have done a lot of work this year.
Yeah.
Seems to me.
and all good work too, thank you. Alright, next is our main core safety improvements updates.
Yeah, I don't have anything this time around.
Alright, great. Moving down the agenda, correspondence received, we do not have anything, so I'll jump right into our department head reports and go back over to our city manager.
Yeah, I'll just keep it brief. I mean, the mayor informed me that we have another ribbon cutting out coming up this Saturday, so it'll be 3 Saturdays in a row, so a lot of good things happening. The planning commission meeting, normally those are held on Tuesdays, except when there's an election, so we have an election next Tuesday, and so the planning commission meeting will be next Thursday, which is, I believe, May 7th? I think that's the date. And 6 o'clock, and that's the standard public meeting like all the planning commission meetings. That is all I have.
Alright, thank you. Chief?
Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing.
Yes.
We did, Tifa, we did set the date for the Tifa open house for potential, for realtors, potential developers for the property that we received by donation. That is the normal Tifa Monday, which is the 3rd Monday of the month, which I think that is the 18th. And it's at 6 o'clock, and that we're gonna start and probably stay at 781 Progress Court, which is the DPW main building. But we'll have good signage for folks and
Okay,
direct people that way.
great.
Oh, there's a question.
Yes.
Yeah, I just have a question. I'm just kind of curious, has there been any kind of concerns or complaints received at the city or to your knowledge at the school district with the construction going on in Raleigh?
We've received a couple of questions, folks asking what the project is, but nothing specific as far as like a complaint. Not as of, I don't know if you've received any as of like 5:55 today. Someone did call the office today just to ask the question of what's happening.
And I was wondering, couple of personal concerns. I was wondering about the drainage. That first major rain that we had, it was kind of intense, and it was especially tense for my immediate next door neighbor. But I can set a clock to when they begin. They begin at 6:50. We had a truck at 5:20 on Thursday morning, so I'm just, since we're complaint driven, I was wondering if any other concerns.
No, and I can pass those concerns on to Dr. Spina, and we can, not as part of the disruption of their groundbreaking on Monday, but we can also mention it then too.
Yeah, there was nothing that I would get me, 2 properties down getting, but I was wondering about the adjacent property owners.
Great question. I know that there was a couple Facebook feed photos, aerial, somebody had a drone out there and showed what it looks like, so, but certainly if there are concerns, John can pass them along to Dr. Spina, and I think that's a good thing. Hopefully they will respond to those. Chief, you're up.
Thank you. The officers have been attending baseball games, softball games, and there's even been, I think, at least one track meet that they went to. And with the advent of severe weather, if anyone has not signed up for rate alerts through the county, we greatly tell people to do that because just this evening sitting here, you've received thunderstorm warnings, and it's always smart to have more than one layer of warning system for severe weather.
Great.
So.
Thank you. Chief, I will kind of ask you as well. School's going to be coming to a close here. Do you have concerns regarding construction, traffic on Church moving into Raleigh because of that entrance for the school?
I don't. I've been up there. Are you talking about when it's completed?
Throughout the construction period.
Oh, the
Now that-
construction
'cause
traffic.
School's gonna be coming to an end, there won't be
Correct.
that flow of buses and everything, but
Yep.
just over there, because I know that that entry point for the construction area is right there at Veneta. So that's just my question. Do you
Yeah,
feel
I don't
like-
have any concerns. It's
Okay.
signed appropriately. There's construction zone signs.
Okay,
And I don't know if you seen, but I've deployed the speed radar trailer on
Excellent,
North Putnam Street,
good,
and I do plan to move that around on a weekly basis around the city.
okay.
And as you come into town, Church Street will be one of my next places to put it there, so.
All right, perfect. And we have our treasurer's report in here from our treasurer Tom Mead. If you have any questions regarding that, please reach out to John or Tom, and those can be answered. Moving down our agenda, we have our committee, subcommittee reports. Anyone want to share anything from any of your city boards at this time? I will share that we were not able to have a DDA meeting due to lack of quorum. And unfortunately, we did receive from our DDA chair that she's no longer able to serve, which now means we have a little bit of work to get ourselves new DDA members. So if there's any business owners out there in our community, I do have a couple business owners I am going to approach to see if they'd be willing to serve on that so that we can continue to move business forward, especially knowing that we need to approve our budget for DDA. But there are definitely some seats open on our DDA board here at the city. Another opportunity for audience participation with a maximum of 5 minutes per presentation, if anybody would like to come forward at this time. All right, moving along, council member comments, I'll start with Tim. All right, Scott.
So I unfortunately have a confession to make. And I'm gonna do this because I think that it's important for us to understand how dangerous this spot is. I was on the way to the dentist, turning left from Putnam on the Grand River, and I wasn't late, but I had to go to the dentist. And I had the dentist on my mind, and the car was turning right in front of me, didn't turn. And I'm like, I gotta go to the dentist, dude. And so I turned, and I didn't see the pedestrian. And I did not run them over. But I will tell you that it was damn scary. And that's, I'm telling you this because I come here every week. I mean, if anybody in town should not do that, it's me, right? So I'm passing this on to you, like, it's a dangerous spot, and I hope that, you know, I mean, if there's something more going on there that tells cars that someone's crossing, that would be a good thing. I'm not trying to take blame away from myself for being an idiot here,
Right.
but, okay.
Well, we're human, right, Scott? We're human, and I appreciate the fact that you shared that with us, but that means it's just all more important to keep this main force safety moving forward, putting pressure on MDOT so that we can make that Four Corners safer for our community, for drivers, for pedestrians. So thank you for sharing,
Yeah.
because, you know, like I said, we're all human, and life happens.
So if the chief has a confession, can he just do something?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that expired already.
Unfortunately, I was driving the painted car too.
Oh,
So,
man.
You don't wanna make mistakes.
Registration or something like that.
Steve, I know that we're coming up on where you might have to be going, because you're doing double duty and working at the Candy Cafe, so any comments from you?
Speaking of the Candy Cafe.
Yes, tell us.
We're talking about the DDA, which is Downtown Business Development, and the new ribbon cutting.
Yes.
We're gonna be celebrating our 1-year anniversary on Sunday, so it should be very active downtown Williamston, again.
Yes.
Starts at 1 o'clock, we're doing hourly drawings, and the grand prize is 4 tickets to the Detroit Tigers.
I thought it was gonna be like lifetime supply of ice cream.
Well, we do the buzz tickets, and one of our competitions is gonna be whoever guesses closest to the number of free ice cream cones we've given away this year, they will get a summer's worth of free ice cream.
Right, okay, well, I'll see, incentive to show up then. All
You don't
right.
have to show up, you can advertise or put your guess on our Facebook page.
Excellent, thank you. Terry?
I heard the word election, we're having an election, I guess? I read every single local newspaper delivered to my door, and I don't remember anything about the elections.
All right.
When is it gonna happen, and
May
who's it gonna be
5th. Ingham ISD.
for? May the 4th, May the 5th?
May 5th.
Okay,
May 5th, so,
Ingham ISD, up at the middle school gym
and it's gonna be
from
for,
7 AM to 8 PM.
so it's
For
a school district millage, so it's not a city government election, it's a school
some
district millage.
primary or
Mhm.
a
No,
statewide
special.
election?
It's a special election.
Shall we pay the school more money?
Ingham ISD.
Yes,
Okay,
John?
I think it's okay to ask the questions, but we
Yeah.
shouldn't get into the
Yeah, that's true.
yays
Um,
or nays or advocacy of it.
All right.
We'll talk about it here in a little bit. John?
Yeah, just as an addendum to Scott, my confession is several years ago, I turning left onto North Putnam from Grand River, I almost ran into somebody.
Yep.
I almost went up onto the sidewalk by the smoke shop. I mean, it was that close, so, yeah. Yep.
I think we can all agree that the work that we're doing to make it safer, it can't happen soon enough for our whole entire community. So I'll just share really quick, yes, we do have another ribbon cutting. This is marks 3 Saturdays in a row, and this is really exciting because we've got people that are investing in Williamston and wanting to bring their businesses here, and I just think it's great. So just to recap, 2 Saturdays ago, we did the grand opening for Rendezvous, which is Peloton treadmills, and they've got free weights, saunas, spin bikes. And then last Saturday, we did Bayard Candle, which took over the old Botany Boutique location. This coming Saturday, we have Homemade by Minnie. It is upstairs in Keller Plaza, Suite 204. They are doing their grand opening from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. So we will be there at noon to help ribbon cut. And
Who's going up there?
I will be up there, I believe
What
John's.
business?
It's called Homemade by Minnie, and what it is it's homemade goods.
Okay.
And their opening specials is 20% off a purchase of $30 or more, 10% off your next purchase, multiple giveaways, free cake pops while the supplies last, and when you get done there, go down and have some ice cream. It's kind of a great day, right? But,
And same day as the one year?
Nope. It's a Saturday, Sunday. There's a Sunday,
There's a
the
Sunday.
ribbon cutting is Saturday. But yeah, sewn items, embroidery, baked goods, and all handmade with love, according to Minnie. So make sure you stop in and welcome this new business. Other than that, I think that's it for me, because I already gave my my plea for anybody that would like to join our DDA board. So at this time, I would entertain a motion for us to move into closed session to discuss attorney-client privilege memo dated April 17th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
Move to close session to discuss attorney-client privilege memo dated April 17th, 2026.
Do I have support?
Support.
Holly, will you call the roll, please?
Ludwig?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Haynes?
Yes.
Jenkins?
Yes.
Van Allsburg?
Yes.
Gilroy?
Yes. All right, I will close this out at 6:37. Audience, all right, I'd like to go ahead and call our city council meeting back into session at 7:16. We have no further action to take, therefore I call to adjourn at 7:16.